Hello and welcome back to Lynx to Talk.
Hey!
We're here to discuss with you our season review. So we're first gonna go with the character summaries, where we're gonna go over the characters from this season, and yeah,
One by one. And we'll tell you about all the major players. So let's get into it.
and some not so major players.
Maybe. Stick around. So, first off is Michelle Kennedy, RCMP constable, mother of Hannah Kennedy. Hannah's what, 9? Or is she 11?
I think she's supposed to be 11.
Okay. And Michelle is a recovering alcoholic. She's more or less the star of the show at this point.
So and then we've got Eric Olson, the RCMP corporal. He was a former undercover detective, and he's the father to Andy and Lisa, with the ex-wife of Lindy. So,
Yeah, they get divorced during the season, right?
And ex-boyfriend of Sarah.
There you go. So, Peter Kennedy, chief of Lynx River, father of 3, maybe? Because that changes at some point, we think.
Yes, at the beginning he had 2 kids, with Elijah being on the way, and we kind of hear about them, but we never see of them again, and they do just disappear, and you don't even hear of them altogether anymore.
Yeah, eventually all there is really is Elijah.
Yeah, there's just, eventually he's the father of one, which was by the end of the season.
And maybe most importantly, he is the brother of Michelle Kennedy.
Sarah Burkett, our health center nurse, the ex-girlfriend of Eric.
Yeah. TV Tenya, more or less at this point, just known as the town juvenile delinquent. Elsie Sache, elder, mother of Lois, and grandmother of TV and Marie.
Wonderful woman. So, sneaky though. Joe Gomba, the elder hunter and trapper. He he doesn't live within the town limits. He's kind of like off on his own, and at the beginning the rest of the town wasn't really talking to him, whereas now that's slowly changing, if you guys have noticed.
Loves his dad's cookies. Rosie Dela, waitress. She's basically the counter help at Jerry's shop and coffee shop. She's married to Leon, and she is the mother of 3, Wayne, Nisa, and Leo.
Leon Dela is a contractor and builder within the town. He is a recovering alcoholic, married to Rosie, father of 3, of course, Wayne, Nisa, and Leo.
Yeah, the same one. Hannah Kennedy, daughter of Michelle.
She's our sassy little spirit.
Definitely known to be a little bit sassy.
Well, I think she adds a lot to the show, even when she's not in it much. Like in an episode where she's only in it for a couple seconds, just with her little sassy snippets or remarks at Michelle.
And Albert Golo, very popular for a bad guy, or some perceive him as a bad guy, I guess. Anyways, he's the bootlegger. He is the former chief of the town, we know, and he is the father of 3: Herbert, Walter, and the younger Nathan.
Yes. Harris Miller is the band manager. He is kind of a sneak. And he seems to have held something against Eric from the day he began, and we've noticed it throughout the episodes.
Yeah.
We've been pointing it out.
We noticed it more now that we've been kind of reviewing.
And it wasn't just like 1 or 2 episodes. It's like all throughout season 1, especially. He's had a huge thing against Eric.
Yeah, come on, explain that, Harris Miller. What's going on?
And he's kind of with Lois.
Small Boat, another popular character. He's basically just known as the town drunk at this point.
He's also best friends with Leon.
Yes.
And the deceased Ray.
Yeah. Willie Sache, airstrip personnel. He's basically the caretaker down there, and he always borrows Sam's axe.
Axe borrower.
Yes, yeah.
His official title.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know why I saluted that title. Anyways, let's move on because apparently that's a super huge official title. Eileen Kennedy, she's kind of she does some counseling work, and she's the wife of Peter. She's mother of 3-ish, who turns to 1, Elijah.
Jerry Kiselenko.
Oh, sorry. First, though, she's also really close to Sarah.
All right, yeah, I guess one of the first people that kind of identifies as being Sarah's friend.
Mm-hmm. Her and, yeah, those are like, Sarah's like only friend seems to be Ellen.
So then we have Jerry Kiselenko, popular for being unpopular, I guess you could say. He's the store, restaurant / hotel manager and owner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's a character, definitely.
Friends with Harris too.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a friendship there.
Yeah,
although it's kind of a love-hate thing.
Yeah, they like to tease and bug and snip and snipe each other a lot, but yeah.
But yeah, I'd say they're friends.
Well, they hang out together on their free time, so yeah, that's what I consider friends. Joey Smallboat, he is the town punk, along with his friend TV. And he is the ex-boyfriend of Marie.
Yeah, they had a little something going there for a bit. And then we have Marie, Tanya. She's the sister of TV, daughter of Lois, granddaughter of Elsie, and ex-girlfriend of Joey.
Uh-huh.
She's got a lot of titles.
Yes, she's also Hannah's closest friend.
Yeah, right at this point for sure.
Lois Tanya, she is the mother of TV and Marie, of course, and the daughter of Elsie. And she is with Harris, kind of.
Then we have...
She, how would you describe her? She's kind of like quiet and reserved type.
Yeah, she's, she doesn't say a lot, and she's kind of to the point when she talks, I guess you could say. Lois Claybank.
Louis Claybank.
Sorry, Louis Claybank. Sorry, it's pronounced just like Lois. Or sorry,
well, actually, no, it's
like
not. I forgot the U.
Oh, okay.
But either way, Louis Claybank is the father of Hannah, Michelle's ex, and he is living in Calgary with his little girl.
Then Al Bishop. He was the ex-boyfriend of Sarah. He's the pilot, and he kind of appears in a couple episodes, and he's a little bit crazy.
Yes, and then, yeah, he's gone. Gabe Cooley, he's a poacher and a violent criminal.
Yeah, he has definitely a history with Michelle. And Andre Cormier. He's the inspector with the RCMP. He's Eric and Michelle's ultimate boss. And he is Michelle's mentor with the RCMP.
Donna Kiza, one of my favorite, I'd say, towny characters that leaves, like people living in town. Daughter of Ruth, she's currently in Hay River for treatment, recovering alcoholic. Yeah.
Alright, and then...
Nathan Golo, the youngest child of Albert.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a troublemaker, and somebody TV likes to idolize.
And then Bertha Kiza, she hangs out with TV and the gang. Joey, Marie, Leonard, Hannah, basically all the kids in town.
Well, not really.
Well,
like
kind of the
older kids,
preteen
like
to adolescent.
even
kids.
though Wayne's like the same age as Hannah, though he doesn't usually isn't seen her.
Yeah, what's going on with it? So yeah, and then Shirley Saki, she is the band council member, or sorry, band council member, and she's the school teacher in town.
Herbert Golo is a son of Albert.
Mm-hmm.
There's not
He's
a
the
whole
big
lot.
guy. If you're wondering which one he is, he's the really big guy with the long hair.
They can see the picture.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne Dela, eldest child of Rosie and Leon, and he's friends with Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Roland is a band council member with a very emotional a background story. I'm pretty sure it was episode 2. If you guys don't remember it, I honestly would go back. It was definitely, even though it was a brief scene with him, it'll make you cry.
Yeah, and he's a recovering alcoholic as well, and that's what the story kind of deals with. Then Karen, she's just a youth in Lynx River.
Mm-hmm. Leo Dela is the youngest child of Rosie and Leon, youngest sibling of Wayne and Lisa, of course.
Yeah, not to be forgotten though. Ruth Kiza, she is the mother of Donna, and she does some janitorial work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, around town, it seems. You can see her whenever she's like, I gotta go to work or do my job, she's always got the mop and bucket going into like band council office or something. So, Walter Golo, another son of Albert.
And then Andre Lebret, he's a hunter and trapper, mm-hmm. and his wife is Sylvie.
Mm-hmm. Sylvie Lebret, wife of Andre, who had an affair with Peter, which resulted in a miscarriage, and her and Andre are the parents also of Jamie and Chris Lebret.
And then we have Agnes Claybank, mother of Louis, grandmother of Hannah, and she lives in Wolverine Lake.
Mm-hmm. And she's a bit crabby.
Yeah. Bad circumstances to meet her under, though.
Yeah, but I mean, she lives in Wolverine Lake. She could have just as easily gone and visit Hannah at any time, but she never did, so she can whine all she wants.
Okay.
Lindy Olson, ex-wife of Eric, mother of Lisa and Andy, of course.
And Leslie Baxter, she's the student nurse who caused a lot of trouble when she ran through town, and she's from Vancouver.
And lives there.
Yeah.
Hey, people don't have to live where they're from.
Okay.
Nevada is a male prostitute who currently is living in Vancouver, and he gives TV the nickname of Snowman. And yeah, another great episode 15. Go back and review it if you haven't.
Andy Olson, eldest child of Eric and Lindy. He's a little bit mischievous. He's acting out a bit, and he's
trying to get Eric's attention.
Yeah, and he's kind of palling around with TV when he runs through town.
Mm-hmm. Sam Kiza is the axe owner.
Yeah. Rico Nez, was only on for one episode, but he was the famous Graham Greene, so he's definitely worth a mention. He was Michelle's first love interest in the show, and he buys and sells native crafts and goods.
Yeah, no longer with Michelle, obviously.
Yeah.
Lisa Olson, lastly, is our youngest daughter of Eric and Lindy. So, that is it for our character review. Obviously, we will be continuing to introduce more throughout next season, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will get into our summary. So, we start off with episode 1, our pilot episode. So, Eric Olson is officially assigned to Lynx River from being that undercover cop. And he comes to Lynx River and he deals with, and he's got problems with TV. So yeah, that leads to all sorts of issues.
Yep. It's definitely not a good baptism by fire for Eric. So then we have episode 2. Eric decides to try to bust Albert, and he charges Rosie with assault.
Yeah.
So it's a little heavy-handed.
His finest hour.
Yeah, a little heavy-handed in that episode, obviously.
Episode 3. So Al Bishop tries to get back with Sarah. Remember, you guys, surveyors come to town, and Al is on top of the church, drunk as can be, singing to Sarah. And in the end, he falls and gets hurt.
And then we have episode 4. A dead man's bones are found. Albert actually takes the bones and attempts to trade them for his grandparents, which unfortunately had been taken and put into a museum.
Mm-hmm. And the wife of the man of the bones,
the deceased man.
yes, she agreed to help him, actually. So that was a nice little ending for that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 5, Michelle's ex-husband reappears after 8 years and drives a big wedge into Michelle and Hannah's relationship. That episode made me feel so bad for Michelle because it seemed like they already had a wedge in their relationship. So
yeah, you don't need 2 wedges.
no, well, it just made it worse. Eric and Sarah have a one-night stand, which they both regret.
So then, episode 6, Eric is determined to punish the American pilots who sexually assaulted TV's underage sister Marie, but comes up against incredible outside forces. Basically, it's obvious that there's a big government conspiracy to kind of wipe this under the rug and not make it an international incident.
Mm-hmm. So episode 7 now. Eric's long-awaited family visit is disastrous, and we could see this coming a mile away.
Yeah.
His wife is filing for his divorce, his daughter has become asthmatic, and his son is absolutely enraged because, well, his dad abandoned him. Michelle's pursuit of a poacher, well, turns into a deadly game of cat and mouse. So this is our awesome episode with Gabe Cooley. So re-watch this one if you've forgotten. Another great one.
And then episode 8, when Sarah's closest friend, Ellen, chooses a traditional instead of the hospital birth, it kind of puts their friendship at odds, and basically Eric decides that the boys in town need to channel their energy, so he starts a boxing academy.
Episode 9, Michelle faces ghosts from her past when she is drawn into helping Hannah's friend, Donna. Now this is the Donna episode that you really gotta go back and rewatch. Amazing Ravenheart moment. Great actress. I love them all. Sarah panics when TV pulls a prank which threatens to expose her relationship with Eric with the Naked Gun 69 and a half movie.
So episode 10, Peter's accused of having an affair. Basically, it gets around the community. Eric and Sarah have conflicting ideas about their own relationship together.
Episode 11. Michelle is suspicious when a very charming stranger, played by Graham Greene, Rico Nez, again, Rico Nez, Graham Greene, episode 11, rewatch, comes to town. Now, you get to also see Michelle in the most stunning dress in this episode. Sarah and Eric are concerned about Joe Gomba's health.
Episode 12, a visit by Michelle's old residential school teacher, Sister Simone, brings up a lot of bad stuff. And then Eric and Sarah's relationship is threatened when Eric's son comes to visit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because of his bad behavior at school. He ended up hurting his teacher. So episode 13, Michelle and Eric are frozen out by the town when they try to investigate a shooting of Albert Golo. Because everybody kind of just thinks, you know, it needed to be done, whatever, kind of just...
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, we've seen in the past and in this episode, the town does not like to cooperate with police in general.
Yeah, they'd rather just handle things on their own, which is understandable.
Episode 14, TV has a crush on the new student nurse, Leslie.
Yes.
But basically, she's got a bigger crush on Eric. And meanwhile, Rosie and Leon are fighting on their way to getting married.
And also, TV wasn't the only one with a crush on the new student nurse. Harris had a little thing, too.
Yeah, but I don't think that she was thinking about Harris as an option.
Episode 15, Eric goes to Vancouver to find TV, who's trying to find Leslie. When TV soon learns that Leslie has a boyfriend, and Vancouver is, the big city life is just not all it's what's the word?
Cracked up to be.
Cracked up. I was going to be turned up to be, but that didn't make sense. Cracked up to be. And we get, he gets a really hard look at what life's like on the street with Nevada as...
Adam Beach.
Yes.
His first appearance on the show.
Yes, and Nevada as the male prostitute. So yeah, great episode again.
And then episode 16, the season finale. TV has a fight with Michelle, and then her house sets on fire. So then Eric moves into Sarah's apartment, and that doesn't go so well.
No, and because of and Eric is investigating TV the whole time, and the cause of the fire was simply just faulty wiring from the stove. So, now I guess we will go on to our discussion. I laid out a questionnaire for you guys. My first one was, who had the first breakdown? And I put in brackets, crying scene. Now, unfortunately, you all got it wrong. It was, you guys put Eric Olsen. Now, if you go back to that episode, you will see he does not cry in episode 1.
Yeah, he kind of like sulks, but he doesn't cry.
But when Sarah is there comforting him, and she breaks down. So Sarah is the first person to have
So whoever said
breakdown.
Sarah but didn't comment it, you won. But
Yeah.
you can like
Default.
feel satisfaction
So
in your hollow victory.
So yeah, that was Sarah. What is the name of Hannah Kennedy's father? Lois Claybank. With the bonus, what is the name of Hannah's paternal grandmother, or Louis' mother, which is Agnes. You guys just heard us say that in the summary 2 seconds
then you
ago.
probably watch this show too much like we do.
Who did TV go to Vancouver to see? Leslie Baxter, the student nurse.
I wouldn't have known her last name, but I knew it was Leslie.
Now, Marie, Hannah, TV, and Joey all hang out together. Name someone else you might see hang out with them. Now, there is a bunch of answers. One, Leonard. But yeah, Donna's another one. There's lots of different people you can say. Who is your favorite guest character? Now, we've got great answers. Shirley said her favorite was Ben Montour, and Christian said his was Rico Nez. So many good ones. Considering Donna Hart isn't I wouldn't consider her a guest character since she was on it for like the first beginning. I'd say my favorite would probably be Adam Beach for like Nevada. I don't know. There's so many good ones like Rico Nez, Ben Montour. Like there's so many.
Yeah, it's tough to decide, but I'd say either Nevada or Ben Montour.
So yeah, and then name Eric's family, ex-wife, and kids. Go.
Lindy, Andy, and
Lisa.
Lisa, yeah. I think I would have got it, but it would have taken.
Who was Michelle's first romance? Now, Christian, you got the bonus point. You mentioned that Louis was the first one.
Yeah, technically, because when he came back, they had a little thing.
Well, yeah, there is no technically. That was her first one. Okay, 8, name 4+ family names in the communities. So there's so many. There's Sache, Jike, Kennedy, Claybank, White Mud, Golo. I could probably keep going.
Tanya,
Jike.
Kennedy. I think you said that.
Yeah, I'm just getting confused now. I'm really. If I could write them out, honestly, I could probably give you like 15 or something, but I'm really bad at remembering what I say. So, number 9, who or how did Michelle's house burn down? Now, this is another question. One person got wrong because you guys both said faulty wiring. One said faulty wiring from the heater, though. So that's wrong. It was faulty wiring from the stove.
Yeah, we assume because it was from behind the stove.
Well, yeah. Stove was that was the word they said.
Where
there
the
was
stove
no heater.
Plugged in.
There was no heater.
No.
And for our bonus question, you guys could write a 2. Well, it wasn't really a question, I guess. You guys could write a bonus.
An assignment.
Yeah, I guess. Write a 2-paragraph story about Gord Jackman, our corporal, prior to Eric. Now, Christian Edwards, and I keep pronouncing it this way, we discussed it when you commented a long time ago in our videos in the past. We're not 100% sure how to pronounce your name because it's Xtian.
Yeah.
So it could be Christian, it could just be Xtian, I don't know.
We apologize for any
If I'm wrong, you can feel free to message me and correct me. But we're going to go for it. Gord Jackman was an exceptional CMP constable that came into Lynx River when Michelle Kennedy started the police force. It didn't take too long for Gord to realize that the cultural difference he was used to was far different than what he was used to.
Yeah, and then Gord found this difficult to deal with. Shortly after Lynx River became a dry town, Gord found himself trying to live 2 lives. One who was secret, buying bootleg liquor from Albert, and one trying to maintain a reputable image with the town. Things quickly began to spiral
As Michelle caught on to Gord's second life as an alcoholic. Upon finding out that not only was Gord abusing alcohol, but was assisting Albert with his operation, the band council submitted an official complaint with RCMP. Gord's life then began to spiral out of control even more when he ultimately took his own life.
Yeah.
And now, I love it. I loved it though.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, well, thanks for your answer. I mean...
so Christian,
definitely creative.
Edwards, and Shirley Hamilton were our top guys with this one. Technically,
winners.
Christian was the one that won because Shirley got 1 and 9 wrong, and Christian only got number 1 wrong, which was the Sarah Eric question about who broke down crying first.
All right, so there you have your winners. All right, well, this has been our season 1 review. It's been a lot of fun doing all these reviews, we think. We've got to do some interviews too. You should check those out.
Our next interview will be with Jordan Wheeler, so get those comments in ASAP. He is an amazing, he was assistant, then the associate story editor in season 1, and he became like the senior story editor by the very end.
He's got a lot
not by the very end, sorry, by when he left, because he left season 4.
Well, either way, he's gonna have a lot of insight into the show. It's gonna be a great interview, so check it out, and thanks a lot for joining us for the ones you have, and take care, everybody.